You're tuned into a QNA Network podcast. Bold voices, real stories, no fluff. It's showtime.
Sorry. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of For the Moms podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about all things marriage.
Disclaimer, this episode is going to discuss the intimacy parts of marriage. So if you are a young listener, please be advised.
This podcast is brought to you by QNA Network.
I'm Kelsey.
I'm Jasmine.
I'm Valerie.
And I'm Ariel.
And we are For the Moms.
Starting out, let's talk about who makes all of the decisions. Financial decisions, decisions for the kids, and things like that. I'll go first. Pretty much, I make all of the decisions. Like if it's a higher price item, obviously Josh and I will talk about that. As far as paying the bills, he probably don't even know how to log into the banking account, if you want me to be honest. But I pay all of the bills. And then as far as the kids, I mean, like if it's something crazy, yes, I'll talk to him about it, get his opinion. But for the most part, you know, I don't know.
Jasmine runs that house.
I do.
No, that's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's me. Now, like I would say if it's something like over $1,000 or so, I'll be like, hey, you know, what do you think about this? But other than that, you know, he kind of gets what he wants and I kind of get what I want. Kelsey?
So I do not make no financial decisions. Don't give me no numbers. I'm not going to do nothing with it. It's going to go straight over my head. Josh makes all the financial decisions. I make all the decisions for the kids. Now, if it's something like we're about to buy a new couch. Now, of course, I'm like looking at the couches that are like $10,000. And he's like, absolutely not, Kelsey. But if it's things like that, we'll talk about it together or whatever. For the most part, he makes the financial decisions, like everything with that. Unless I'm like, hey, we're going on this vacation, but I'm booking it. So you don't really need permission. I'm just telling you. But for the kids, yeah, I do pretty much everything. He can brush hair. That's about it. So
I'm kind of like Jazz. I typically make all the financial decisions as far as I pay the bills. He probably doesn't even know how much is in our bank account. He doesn't know the passwords to anything. But as far as like making a purchase for our land, a house, obviously, cars and things like that,
we the big stuff.
Yeah.
You know, talk about it. And the kids, I mean, I do all the doctor's appointments.
Oh, yeah. I don't think men even know who to call.
But when it comes to sports and stuff like that, it's mainly having to consult with him because he does a lot of the practices and things like that. But that's
he coaches too, so he probably that's huge. Eric and I, like, it's both for us in our household. I think we do really well about balancing and like it's a partnership. Like we literally talk about everything before we do it. Now, like groceries and like day-to-day stuff, we just spend, like if he wants to go buy something, he buys it. If I want to go buy something, I buy it. But like large purchases, like when we were doing the house, any car purchases, when we built our pool, we're looking at doing a shop now. Like he is the numbers guy, and y'all know my husband. Like he... frugal as hell, but I'm grateful for it because it set us up and put us in the position we are now in our life. But so he gets on with that, but like if I have a Botox appointment, I'll just say, hey, I have the appointment next week. I don't necessarily have to ask or anything. And same with him. If he wants something, he just goes and buys it. Now with the kids, we like to play the game, go ask your daddy, go ask your mama. You know, like if it's something I don't feel like answering, I'm like, just see what your daddy says and we'll deal with it later. And then I'll just back him up and vice versa. Like,
I'm kind of the same.
We're the same.
Go ask your dad.
Yeah. See what he says first and then we'll talk about it.
But I'm like, well, I did ask dad, but he told me to come ask you. I'm like, go ask your dad.
Yeah, and then they come running back to us. That's definitely how it is for the most part for us. Especially if it's like something I don't want to get up and do right there.
Oh, same.
Or if it's like Ella saying, can I have a sleepover? And I'm like, really don't feel like it to go ask your daddy. Okay, on to the next one. What has been one of the hardest parts of your marriage? Any eye-opening events? For me, I guess this would be years ago, but I guess learning how to trust more. I think just because I've dealt with like a lot of things in my personal life, like before Josh, trust has always been very hard for me. So definitely, I would say the biggest thing was learning trust. And then whenever Josh got COVID, that was probably like one of our big eye-opening events because, you know, he was down for over 60 days and that was just like very eye-opening for us that like, life can be taken away so quick. So in that moment, like whenever all of that happened and, you know, obviously after he got better, we were like, life is so short. Like we need to stop. Like we need to do more. We need to, you know, stop saying no, and we need to do more because we don't ever know when it's our last day. Obviously save, be comfortable, you know, and things like that. But life is short and you can't bring it with you whenever you die. So as long as, you know, you are comfortable, take the trip and make memories because you don't ever know when it's your time to go.
Memories last a lot longer than money does.
They do.
Yeah.
But for me, I would say, actually, Josh said this last night, but he said communicating when I'm angry. I usually shut down. Like, if he makes me mad or if we're, like, bickering or something, I just shut down. Like, I'm not going to talk about it. You pissed me off. I'm going in the room. Like, I'm done. I don't even want to talk. That's kind of our biggest part because then it just draws out the fight even longer. I would say that's, like, our, whatever the question was. In our marriage. But for eye-opening would be when Charlie was in the NICU, first-time parents, fresh in our marriage. I think that was like a big eye-opener for us because it was very unexpected. So that's it.
That would, just tuning in really quick before Val goes, that is a problem for me as well that I've really had to work on is shutting down. Josh is a very big communicator. I get to that in one of the next questions. He is a huge communicator. Not so much me. That's something I've definitely had to work on, and it's been rough. But I'm getting better. All right, Val.
We just had one episode. It was around COVID. This was probably around the time that Austin was born. I was staying home. I really wasn't into TikTok. I wasn't working. So Mark was our financial provider, and he was taking a weight loss medicine called phentermine. And with his job in the plants, he has to get random drug tests. Well, the drug test threw a flag for meth with his phentermine.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And even with the prescription, the DISA, I guess it's, they would not accept it. They said that there wasn't enough studies to show that phentermine will throw off the...
For that.
Yes.
And it has the same things as Vyvanse.
See, that's
and Adderall.
crazy.
Yes.
Eric takes phentermine and he's never had a positive drug screen.
So the fact that it flagged his account for 2 years, they wouldn't accept the prescription, and it made him look like he was not the person that he's saying that he is. I've been with him over 12 years, and he has never, ever touched a drug. Never.
That's not Mark.
So the fact that it made it look like he did was very upsetting for him. And that's the lowest that I've seen him because that's probably the only time I've really seen him cry.
You know,
Honestly, he's going to hate me for saying that.
No,
but it's true. It just made him not look like the person that he was. And it,
It's like that. When I used to work at Prime, we used to do drug screens and people would flag all the time. Then you have to send it off. And then sometimes like a medical review officer would like go verify your prescription or whatever. But it just depends. Like if they take it from your hair, if they take it from your...
He had the prescription. The doctor even wrote a letter.
That's crazy.
And everything. It wasn't like an expired prescription.
It
wasn't
for
nothing.
Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It was
horrible.
bad.
you know, that happened to Josh, not in the plants, though. This was like way before we had kids. He was going to work at FedEx and obviously had to do a drug test. It came back for meth. And Josh has never done a drug, like ever. And the only thing that we could link it back to was he was sick that prior week and he took Sudafed over the counter. That's the only thing we could link it back to. And they were like, no, absolutely not.
Crazy.
And Sudafed is how you make meth. Don't ask me how.
But yeah, that's happened. Thankfully, it wasn't like in the plants, and that didn't stay on his record because it was just
because
for
it
one
does stay on
job.
your
It's
record.
It did for
long.
2 years.
Yeah.
It's not on there now. And I think there was only the DISA plants he couldn't go into for 2 years. But other than that.
That's still hard though, because it limited what he was able to do.
And during
That's
COVID,
scary.
it was even.
Harder.
Yeah. That's scary. So I'm not gonna lie. The first year, probably 2 years of Eric and I's marriage was like hard, very, very hard. We got married super quick. I got pregnant within 8 months of being married. And Eric was battling quite a few demons that I was not aware of going into our marriage. I'm not going to go into like detail of everything that happened, but he was also battling some depression. And that was really hard. We even had a joke, like we were both working full time and we'd come home on Friday nights and just kind of unload on each other. And you really should not do that. And we've gotten a lot better at it, 11 years in now. But we would call it Friday night fight night, like literally the first year and a half of our marriage. But I think what helped us is we both have very good examples of what a happy and healthy marriage should look like. Like Eric's parents are both in their 60s. They've been married since they were 18 years old. My great aunt and uncle that raised me are in their 80s. They've been married for over 50 years. So we had the good examples and help to fall back on that not everybody has. And I'm very thankful for it because we may not be together today had we not had that. And then we both always believed in the covenant of marriage. Like we made those vows before God, before our families, and we take it very seriously. Like we're only getting married once in our life. So through hell or hard water, like we were like, we're going to fix this. We're going to work this out. And he did. And it's going to make me cry. But I remember sitting on the couch when we were at like rock bottom, like financially, everything. We had pretty much didn't have anything. And we had, Cadence was a small baby. And he said, I promise you, I'm going to give you the life that you have always dreamed of and you deserve. And then 11 years later, here we are. So just don't give up, y'all, because it's possible.
A lot of people give up.
Yeah.
They really do. And I hate that about
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you both have to want it. You do. It can't be one-sided. Sure. And we both did want it. And like at the end of the day, we knew we loved each other. And I think we had that strong foundation. So we were able to come back, and I'm just grateful for that. But it was hard, y'all.
Well, that's awesome.
I don't think any of our friends thought we were going to last.
Good for y'all.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, what would you have changed sooner if you've changed anything?
Saving money.
Hi, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Mom's saving money too.
Yeah.
Josh said when I first met, I should have acted broke. Okay, really?
I mean, that could go for us. Definitely, maybe saving sooner than what we did.
That's what I mean. Because I feel like I'm very good at saving money now.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But when you have more money, it's easier to save.
That's true
Those first
too.
few years,
That's
like
true.
most of us are broke when we get with our spouse. Like you don't have anything to save.
I feel like unless you came from a lot or, most people struggle. Josh and I have struggled, for a few years we struggled until, we were finally he was able to get a better paying job. And now that I make money, but I feel like majority of people go through that at some point.
Oh, for
especially
sure.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
When you're young.
Yeah,
and
like I said,
you don't really know how to manage anything. You've never done
you were like just gifted it or you were born
unless you're a
in-
trust fund baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like most people struggle, so save,
Yeah. And
but
don't-
still live your life.
we didn't pay our house note to help pay for our wedding because we paid for our wedding. Well, Mark's parents helped pay a lot of our wedding, but we were missing a house note
Eric
so we can
paid
pay
1 month
some of our wedding.
mortgage when we lived in the old house in Hammond on the credit card because like we had nothing. Like he put that shit on the credit card.
Say, when I met Josh had already been traveling in the plant, so he had been traveling for like 10 years at that point because Josh is the oldest. So, but so it was like. I went straight into that, and so he was making plant money, working 7/12.
Oh, you had the good
Travel
money.
per
That's why you
deal.
married him,
So
Kelsey.
That's why he said I should have acted like I was broke. Because he was like, I shouldn't have bought you all them gifts and all them trips and everything before we had kids. But it wasn't even like that. Like it wasn't even like that. We
got you a sugar daddy.
I moved in fairly quickly, so I was trying to get out of my mom's house.
It was complete opposites for me and Josh. Josh had nothing whenever we got together. And I mean, I didn't either.
Yeah.
But we struggled for a while.
Yeah. So like I was the saver when Eric and I first met. He had like nothing. He was shit with money. Go figure, he was an accountant, but he was shit with his own money, good at managing other people's money. But that was a learning curve. And then we went through all the shit we went through. And it's definitely gotten better, but Lord.
I was a single mama, so when I met Mark,
That's
he was
hard.
paying off all my credit cards.
Oh, that's why you like
gosh.
This is
When I
nice.
moved in, he did. He didn't do it initially, but it was nice when he.
Just to have the help.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that
just
relief.
Taking off
Yeah.
some of that debt was just nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you recommend doing in a marriage to keep it healthy? What's one piece of advice you'd give to a newlywed? So for me, I would say just taking time for you and your partner. Date your partner. That's very important. Josh and I had to learn that. I feel like Josh and I went through a little patch. I want to say it was just whenever we had Ella. I truly felt like we were just roommates. But, obviously we got over that. It's definitely important to date your partner. Take time out, even if you don't have much help. We traveled on the road for years and we didn't really have anybody while we were away to help us. Even if it's putting the kid to bed, or putting your kids to bed and watching a movie, or, find something to where you and your partner have time by yourselves. I feel like that's very, very important. And then make sure your partner has good communication. If you're newlywed, definitely before you get married, make sure communication is key at the end of the day. Josh is very, very well, much better than me with communicating. I had to learn that part of it. But I feel like in a marriage, communication is key. Find somebody that communicates good.
And I'm going off of Jasmine's about the date your partner, because that's exactly what, especially, it's hard when you have kids. I will say it's very hard when you have kids, especially when they're babies and, you're trying to figure out motherhood as well. You get yourself in that little rut where it's like roommate season. And we have been there before too. But it's easy. Just do something at home. Put the kids to sleep. If you know they're asleep and they're safe in their bed, go do whatever. It doesn't matter. If you got to go lock your door for 10 minutes to hang out, get a little quickie, whatever you got to do, do it. That's like the biggest part. And like Jasmine said, the communication, which I've had to learn as well, still working on that. So that's it. That's pretty much it for me. Kind of the same.
Yeah, I think we all think on the same way.
Yeah.
But we all have, in my opinion, very healthy marriages at this point. So definitely dating each other. That's key. And I will die on that hill. You have to make that time, because your kids are going to leave you. It's just going to be you and your husband. And you have to not only like them, but you have to still want to spend time with them, right? So if you just let that relationship go for 20 years, then you're looking at a stranger next to you. And then communication, which I've had to get better at this. I think as women, we just think they can read our minds, and they cannot. And I've had to learn that, I have to voice what's frustrating me, because men are just going to look at you like, what's wrong? They don't get it.
I can't read your mind. Well, you should be able to.
Right.
I'm looking at you. You should be able to read it.
And we can't expect them to. So definitely learn the way your partner communicates, slow down, and actually listen to what they're saying.
You hear that, Josh?
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm guilty of it. I'm not really that good with communication, but we are so busy. We do not have the time. I'm just going to be honest. We are so busy. There's not a day that we don't have something not going on. We have 4 kids. And so my thing to give to a newlywed, my advice is to wait to have kids.
Yes.
If you don't have kids before marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 2 before I got married.
Yeah, get that time in with them before.
Get that time. Yeah, get that time with your husband. Give it a little while, because you're fresh in your marriage, and
there's no rush.
And I get it. I feel like as women, we look at that our entire life. We want to be a mom. We want to be a mom. But it's I wish that me and Mark had time where we had 0 kids, just to enjoy each other. So if you are about to get married and you don't have kids, don't rush to have kids. Enjoy each other.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's important.
I'm going to go bring your kids to practice one day so you and Mark can have a date night.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
When's the last time y'all had a date night? Just the 2 of y'all?
We've had
Probably Christmas time for a Christmas party.
No. Morgan is good with babysitting for us sometimes. And if she don't have anything going on and somebody invites us to dinner, and that's the thing. We wait till somebody invites us to dinner. We don't plan it.
Okay, so I'm going to invite you to dinner and not show up. So you and Mark can have a long time.
No, but honestly, since our friendship and all the trips that we take as adults and things like that has been nice, because we haven't done that before.
Together alone.
I know. Hopefully for our 10-year anniversary in October, and we haven't planned anything yet. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're skipping that. I don't know, but yeah.
Just text me. We're gonna book it. And be like, surprise!
We're doing
I packed your bag already. Let's go.
He would actually probably love that. Just go.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Oh, crap. Sorry. How do you deal with conflict in front of your kids? Do you do it in front of your kids? Do you wait till later? So on and so forth. So for me and Josh, we will definitely bicker in front of the kids. Nothing crazy. I do feel like, though, it's good to show them that, like, we can have a small little disagreement and get past that because, you know, one day they're going to be older and they are going to have a family of their own. And I want them to know that, like, it's normal for, you know, husband and wife. Josh and I don't really argue. I couldn't tell you the last time we've had, like, a serious argument. And if we do, like, we'll save that for later most times. But no, we will definitely, you know, have a little bickering a little bit here and there in front of the kids, but nothing crazy.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We'll do that just so they can see how we work through things.
Yes.
That's so important.
But if it's something like I really don't want them to hear and I want to get it out in that moment,
Oh, yeah.
I will text. I will text.
So funny.
I will.
I'm be like, I will text it. I
he'll
want
look
him to
at me
know
and be
right
like,
then and there.
I love that.
Yes.
He'll just stare
That's
at me.
awesome.
Next time y'all are around Josh, ask him how, like, if we are arguing, I will go to another room and text him.
That's
I'm not even kidding.
I had never
do that.
thought of that.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
we just hash it out.
No.
Now we're not like yelling and screaming at each other in front of the kids, but we do have disagreements, and that's all the time. Like no marriage is perfect, and we're not going to agree on a lot, right? But I think it's extremely important for my girls to see because, like, I went into marriage having this example where my uncle I never once heard him raise his voice to my aunt. I never once saw them have a disagreement in front of us. So I expected marriage to be all honky dory. And when it wasn't, I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
Right. And same with Eric's parents. His dad is just so even keel and let his mom just run everything. Like he never saw them. So we're both like, what's wrong with our marriage? Now we had our issues, but it's normal. And we did not have that example of how to resolve that conflict in a healthy manner. Right. So that led to our Friday night fight nights and all that stuff, you know? I think it's extremely important to see that two people can love each other and disagree at the same time and work through it.
Yep. Mine's the same. We'll bicker now. Like she said, I'm gonna be texting you. You gonna say something?
I'm gonna start using that.
I'm popping off in that message. My fingers can't go fast enough. Sometimes I gotta use the voice message. Okay? It ain't getting through fast enough. But I will say, now if the kids aren't around, I'm yelling. I'm gonna get my point across. I'm yelling at you.
Yeah.
He's like, stop yelling. I'm right here. But for the most part,
I think you just understand it a little bit better when my voice is louder.
I'm
That
going
is
to
funny.
make you hear.
Okay, what is something small that your husband does that makes you feel loved? Do you have a couple thing, a show, certain place y'all go eat, inside joke, anything that like is for just you and your husband? For me, we take a shower together almost every night.
The hair washing.
Look at Alyssa's face.
We do. That's mine and Josh's thing.
That's y'all's pillow talk.
And like, we don't even have to do nothing. Like, that's just our thing. Now, obviously, sometimes we do, but 9 times out of 10, we just take a shower with each other. And I couldn't tell y'all the last time I washed my hair. Josh washes my hair. Like, no joke.
I remember the first time you told
Why
us.
is it so hot in here?
We'll be right back.
Hey moms, it's Jasmine. If you or someone you know owns a business and y'all would like to be featured on For the Moms podcast, please send us an email at forthemoms@QNAnetwork.com, and that's FOUR the moms at QNAnetwork.com. We would love to work with y'all and bring y'all more business. But yeah, and another thing we do is almost every night during the week, obviously not on the weekends. I'd say 3 to 4 nights a week, we will, once the kids are in bed, we've had a shower, we'll watch one episode of whatever show we're into. That's like our thing. Take a shower, lay down, and watch at least one episode.
Yeah.
That's us. That's our little thing.
Well, I don't have shit. Like I said, we are
Busy.
and it's sad, y'all.
What does Mark do that makes you feel loved?
Oh, well, by far of him doing anything around the house just without me having to ask him. Like, y'all saw that little snap that I took on Facebook of him
Folding those clothes.
folding all those clothes. I mean, it's small, but I mean, it just shows that he's willing to help, or he cares to help, or he knows that it's weighing on me and it needs to be done. Like, he's
I think that's
a
huge during
great
the
husband.
busy seasons.
He really is an awesome father. So that really does enough for me.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of the same. Like if Josh does like the dishes or he does bath time every night. Like he's always done that. And that is like one of the biggest things for me. Because like I said, I'll clean the kitchen and he'll go do the baths. Like don't even have to ask, don't even have to do nothing. Takes the bath, brushes their hair. He braids their hair every night.
That's nice.
So it's
Give you a little break.
yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is really sweet.
Yes.
I think a partner that's willing to help is huge. Especially as a mom being busy like that. Just I think that's our love language as moms. Things that Eric does that I love, like I like to feel wanted by my husband and desired. So like if I'm cooking or doing something with the kids, like I love, like it sends tingles down my spine for him to just like walk up behind me and grab me on the butt or wrap his arms around me and give me a hug with a kiss on the cheek. Like that's my love language, like knowing that you still want me. And 12 years later or 11 years later, you know, like that's huge to me. And then he doesn't so much do it anymore, but when we first built our house and I was trying to decorate and everything, like he would make it a point to like on a random Tuesday after work, he would go to like Hobby Lobby and pick me out a decoration for the house that went with our theme. And I just thought that was the sweetest thing, that he was thinking about me, you know, and trying to help. So,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah.
Okay, let's talk about being intimate. How
Gummy bears.
how do you make time for it when you're exhausted? How often are you intimate? Kelsey?
Quite often. I mean, are we going at it every single day? No, but we quite often, like I said, Josh will go in there and lock the door for 10 minutes just to get a quickie.
Yeah.
So it's that, and when we're exhausted, straight up, no. I ain't in the mood tonight.
Thank God you saying that.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple. You don't have to. And if your spouse can't understand that, then that's a huge red flag, because it's.
Yeah. I think, personality too. There's a lot with that.
As a mom, you know, some days you're exhausted. You don't feel like doing it. You just want to lay in bed and cuddle with your husband. Like you don't want, which most cuddles lead to, you know what?
Oh my God. You can't just
back
cuddle.
Or a back rub. I'm like, rub my back. No, go back up. So, but honestly, say no. Like if you're not in the mood, just no. And if they get mad about that, then that's a them problem. Yeah. But
Eric will never get mad, but like he is good about like, because he knows that's what gets me in the mood. Like give me a massage all day, baby, and let's go. Yeah. Because like no woman is just like a man. You know, they are ready all day, every day. And I'm like, babe, I've been overstimulated. I don't want to be touched right now. He's like, let me just rub your shoulders. Yeah. And then that usually leads to...
Sometimes Josh will be at work and it'll be like 3 o'clock. He gets home he leaves about 4:30. He'll start dirty texting me. And I'm like, we're having that kind of night.
It's that kind of night.
So
Mark will send that eggplant in the text message. Emoji. So ever since Austin's in school now, this is the first time that we've ever had time at home during the day. Yeah. So it's kind of new. It feels like newlyweds because I'm like, and now that he's not working as much, he's home during the day. He might be in the living room watching TV, and I'm in the bedroom either folding clothes or just getting ready, or took a shower and washed my hair or something. And I remember not too long ago, I sent the eggplant
and he came
from
running
my bedroom to the living room, and I heard the remote hit the coffee.
I love it.
He's like, you ain't gotta tell me twice.
I think being spontaneous like that though keeps it fresh. Like sometimes the kids will be in there like watching a movie, and I'm like, hey Eric, let's go lock the bathroom door. You know, like that's
but your kids
fun.
Mine
are the RV camper.
I don't know if Ava knows what that is, but Morgan does. At 17 years old, she's not stupid. Yeah. So like when they're little, they don't know what y'all are doing. Okay, but eventually it's gonna.
But do you think that's good for Morgan to know that y'all still have that healthy side of y'all?
She's gonna listen to this podcast, and she's gonna be like, oh.
So for me, I would say it's a little different. So sometimes when I'm like super exhausted, obviously it's a no, and Josh respects that, you know. But sometimes, like if I feel bad, like especially if it hasn't happened in a while, I'll be like, just hurry up and get it over with. Because like, you know, you still want them, like, and that's important for men. Yeah, that's like I feel like that's important. So I will say like my side to that is a little different, because I'll be like, you know, if you absolutely want it, just hurry up.
I'm the same way. If Mark instigates it, and I'm mentally, I'm like, oh, I really don't want to. Yeah. But I don't let him know that. I'll just do it. The same.
And I tell him, hurry up, I'm not in the mood.
Yeah. If I instigate it, I don't know if he's not in the mood because he never turns it down.
Right.
But
same with Josh.
I can literally just touch him with my foot.
Yes,
he's ready.
Yes.
By accident. And I'm like, shit.
It's on now.
I'm like, shit. He knows. And here comes the hand coming
He's ready. That's so funny.
Oh, yes.
So all men are the same.
Yes, they
They're
are.
all the
Definitely.
same.
And y'all know what's really crazy? So, like, Josh and I, we've been together 11, almost 12 years. Years ago, like when Ella was a newborn, Josh went through a phase to where it was always me asking for it.
Same.
I sent his ass to the doctor.
Eric
And
did too.
I did. I literally sent him to the doctor and said, "You have a problem? Go get fixed."
Yeah.
And then now it's like opposite.
Well, yeah, because you're busy with the kids and stuff now
Oh
and
my
everything else.
gosh. Like,
Yeah.
And we all know Josh, so we know what
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
talking
we
about.
know.
it's
He's the
like,
distributor of
Yeah.
it's nonstop. And then I'm like, can you
It
just
don't matter the time of the
No,
month, time
it
of the
don't
day,
matter.
Yes.
nothing.
No,
and
he's
it's
ready.
just like,
He
why'd I
loves his
send you-
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right, wrapping it up. What's something that you're still learning about your partner?
Somebody else go first.
Yeah, I don't really have a.
I don't either. I think Eric and I know each other pretty well. Yeah, like we've been together long enough at this point. We know how each other works. We know how to
Yeah.
push each other's buttons when we want to push them.
Yeah.
I feel like I know Josh so well. Sometimes when like it's just me and Josh at home, for instance, kids are at school. Josh has been working from home a lot. So a lot of the times it's just me and him home during the day. Like we'll just kind of sit there and look at each other. Like if we don't have nothing to talk about, like nothing going on with the kids or the family or nothing like that. And it's just like, we know everything about each other. Like, what are we even talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes the peace and quiet is
Yes.
just
Is nice.
It
yeah.
is. It really is. So now I feel like I know everything about Josh.
Me too. The only thing that I feel like I'm learning about Mark, or mainly, I guess I would say it's seeing him grow.
Yeah.
Seeing him grow as a parent, honestly. I feel like I'm still in that stage of being so busy and just being parents, but watching him be a parent is very nice.
Makes you fall in love with him all over
Yeah,
again.
just to see how he reacts in certain moments, or always being there for the kids, never misses a game, never misses a practice if
that's
he can help
huge.
it. Just and help in coaching. Like that's a
Yeah.
big responsibility that you don't get paid to do. You know what I'm saying? Just going out of your way to always be a dad is
That's huge. Yeah, that's nice.
You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
If you are a Patreon member, VIP, you can watch our full video.
And don't forget to check out our merch at fourthemoms.com.